G'day, Dave.
Adam.
Amazing response when you made the 100 today. Looked more emotional than usual. Can you just talk us through the feelings that were going through your body when you reached 100 runs?
Yeah, look, for us as a top four unit, we always talk about trying to score hundreds, and personally, obviously, it's a great thing. It obviously was a long time coming. Against Afghanistan, I felt like I had no rhythm. The next game, then obviously got one that's sort of kicked off the wicket, but I was a bit lazy, and then still last game, they bowled really straight to me. But to come out here and play the way that I know I can play was awesome. And who's that guy? But yeah, look, I was elated. It was a bit of relief in a way, but I still think I left a lot out there. 70 balls to go, and with the way that we're trying to build partnerships again, I probably hold responsible for the way that we fell apart there.
Who's next? I can go again.
Go ahead.
Right, first congratulations, your 100.
Thank you.
You have played today your typical uncharacteristic inning, because you always play in the beginning with the big shots. So it was planned or just according to the situation and wicket and bowling? Because we have a thought that Pakistan bowlers, they have not bowled according to their plan.
Yeah, look, I thought, that wicket was going to be sort of like a test match battle. We knew obviously two guys up front were going to swing the ball, especially away from me. I think Amir got it right the second spell. He bowled fantastic. He got nice response off the wicket. And yeah, they were a tad too short or a tad too full. And that allowed us to sort of free our arms a little bit. And we knew they had to get, 10 overs out of Malik and Hafiz. So there was a bit of a target point there as well. So for us, we just went out there to play our natural game, strong defence, and hit through the line of the ball. And we felt the wicket was definitely too paced. There was a bit of a patch in the middle, which was a bit tennis bally. But look, all in all, I thought it was a great game. We left a lot out there, I think, with the bat. And with the ball, I felt that Pakistan got it really right in that second sort of spell.
Dave, it's been a while. Can you talk about the emotion of the last month or two for you just coming back into this squad and then, I guess, capping it off today with a century, but more so the last 2 months?
Yeah, for myself, it was obviously getting back to the normal routine of training, high intensity. Our fitness levels have to be spot on when you're in this Australian cricket team, and I felt like I did a lot of hard work in my time off to get right. And then coming back in, that soreness that you normally get, I put a smile on my face. I had a little bit of a strain on my glute, and I think that was just purely based on getting back into it and getting back into the mojo of things. And look, it was just great to be back in part of the team.
David, did you ever think about not coming back to international cricket after what happened? And what sort of kept you going, particularly in those early few months when probably going through some dark times, I guess?
No, I was always coming back to international cricket if selected. The thing that kept me going was my wife and my kids. Got great support at home, my family, and my wife is just she's just my rock. She's unbelievable. She's determined, disciplined, selfless. And I hold a lot of credit to her. She's a strong woman, and she got me out of bed a lot in those first 12 weeks, and got me back running and training hard as I could, and prepared for sort of the other formats of the game that I was playing, and I did play. So it was just to maintain my level of fitness and just hard work, and she really nailed that into me.
David, we saw Steve and Cameron give a couple of interviews during their time away. You chose not to. Can you explain why you didn't take the same route as them?
I was just focused ahead, and that was my own thing. I was just focusing on playing the next game that I was playing in, training as hard as I could. I didn't need to say anything. What was said back in those press conferences, and now it's about looking forward. I'm excited to be here. Obviously, we've a couple of games in now. Good to get a win on the board, and we move forward. Looking forward to Sri Lanka at the Oval.
David, obviously there's still a lot of treatment coming from supporters of other teams. It's happened early in the tournament. There may be more to come when England and South Africa potentially face you. How are you dealing with all of that?
The treatment of...
From like boos and things like that from the crowd?
Oh, the booze and no, we don't really hear that when we're out there. You know, at the end of the day, we're out there to do a job, and you know, for us, it's you know, for me, it's just try and score runs and have a lot of energy in the field. And look, it's water for ducks back. You get it all the time. I've had it my whole career, and you know, it actually eggs us on a lot and makes us knuckle down and try and score more runs, if anything.
David, you said that you always wanted to come back to international cricket if selected, and then you talked about the emotion of reaching three figures today. Was there ever, in your darkest days, do you think you might not get the chance to make hundreds for Australia again?
Yeah, definitely. There was always that going through my mind, and I think that's what drove me to keep, you know, being as fit as I can, keep scoring as many runs as I can in the 2020 tournaments that I was playing in. Grade cricket, really enjoyed going out there, and we used regulation balls back in Sydney, and that was a challenge in itself to get used to that. The different obscure fields that were being set because the wickets are a tad slower. I really enjoyed all that. It was really, really hard work, and I think, you know, going through those tough times and sort of regrouping with myself to put myself in the best position to come back to international cricket, I did everything I could. I really, really knuckled down and trained, you know, my backside off, and I'm just grateful for this opportunity. And as I said before, I'm just really looking forward to what's coming ahead of us here in the World Cup. Pumped to be back, and you know, the boys are on fire here. We've got a great, you know, sort of group harmony, a lot of smiles on the faces, as you can see in a lot of the training sessions and out in the field. So look, I'm pumped.
David, how's the team environment changed from when you left it maybe 13 or 14 months ago now, from then till now?
We're in colour clothing now, so that's a big change. Yeah, obviously, from the group's point of view, the one-day team was always as it is. You know, so it's a bit different. You can ask me that question when we get back to the test stuff, because I don't know that yet. But this group's always been fantastic. We've got a great presence about us. The guys played fantastic cricket in the subcontinent, and then moving forward into this World Cup, our preparations were on point. We had a great hit out against New Zealand up in Queensland. And we're just, you know, all chuffed to be here again. And as I said, you know, we're looking forward to the next game after this one.
David, could you talk us through Mohammad Amir's spell? You know, he had you guys playing missing initially, and then he came back, bowled brilliantly, took 5 wickets. You know, he's also. Yeah, look, he's a world-class bowler. When he's swinging it, it's very difficult to try and get on top of him. And then when it's seaming and swinging, it's even harder. So. As I said before, you know, you really got to have that mentality of test match approach, keep your nice tight defence. For me, it's looking to score, and then my defence will take care of itself. You know, I tried my best to try and see him out, but still try and rotate strike. And it's very difficult on a wicket that, you know, offered something for the bowlers, which I think is fantastic for one-day cricket. The ball stayed hard out there as well, which was great, and allowed them to sort of regroup and come back into that contest. And they didn't make that mistake again. And as I said before, credit to the way that Pakistan came back after that first sort of spell.
David, could you just talk to us through the transition from the first 2 long innings that you've played in this World Cup to now, where earlier probably you would have hit the fielders more often than you would have liked to now coming in the most difficult conditions and finding gaps as often as you did?
Yeah, that's one thing I probably missed just before when I was explaining. Against India, I hit a lot of fielders. And you as a player, you feel like you got no rhythm. And that's what happened. But today was one of those wickets where, you know, if you're still looking to score and your defence is tight, you'll create those opportunities for yourself. And that's what we focus on as a batter. You know, you got to try and really adapt to those conditions. As I said, you know, with the TV just before, is we used two used wickets the previous 2 games, so the wickets were very dry. They bowled straight last game, India, and then West Indies bowled nice short lengths, and that wicket was sort of up and down as well. And then the first wicket we got in Bristol was a nice wicket. So, you know, you don't know what you're going to get at the moment. We've got another fresh wicket, I heard, at the Oval, so that's going to be good. But obviously, weather plays a big role as well. So we have to assess when we get back down to London.
Last question, Sam.
Only one.
Last one.
2 in 1.
2 in 1. You see Candice tomorrow. How special would that be after what happened today to see her and your 2 little girls again? And one more. Have you spoken to any Big Bash clubs yet?
I'm really looking forward to seeing the kids and the wife. You know, obviously we're fortunate enough to have our families away with us, which is great. And you know, obviously we're going to be here for a while in the UK. So look, I'm ecstatic that they're over here. And Big Bash, no, haven't talked to any clubs yet. I'm here. I think we're available for it, but I'm yet to put my hand up to see if I'm going to play. I'll sort of look over the summer, see how much cricket's being played. We've got obviously this World Cup to get over first and an Ashes, so I'll have to think about that hardly.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.